So hello and welcome to episode 35 of our Aston Martin series. Now if you didn't go and watch the last episode, spoiler alert, Pierre Gasly had another banging performance. P4 for our team, fantastic work. Ferrari got a 1-2. Fernando Alonso just snuck into the points in P10. This week though, it is the French Grand Prix. Now I quite like the French Grand Prix, probably because of my exploits on F121. I enjoy driving the circuit, so it's a place that I really enjoy. The circuit Paul Ricard, obviously not going to be in F1 next year in real life. 53 laps round here. Sebastian Vettel holds the lap record. The car attributes medium high-speed cornering paramount around this circuit, and the expected strategy is a one-stop from medium onto hards. Just a little look at what we're doing behind the scenes. Driver-wise, we've got a bit of scouting going on. We're going to scout Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. Not for any particular reason, but we've got the scouts sat about. They might as well be doing something. In terms of facility upgrades, the big one is coming in 17 days' time. The design centre. That means we can have extra design projects going on and we get some more engineers as well. So that is huge moving into next year. But without further ado, I'm going to get the practice sessions done and we'll see you in qualifying for the French Grand Prix.
It's Grand Prix time here in Le Castellet. The very first horseless carriage race was organised in France in 1894. Since then, well, the carriages have only gotten faster. For the Grand Prix here, Paul Ricard boasts a fine collection of low, medium and high-speed corners. The scene curve is taken at breakneck speed, right before heavy braking at Beausset. This is an all-rounder test for cars and drivers alike. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
You join us in Q2 final flying laps, and as you can see, Fernando Alonso has just spun the car. That's going to cause some problems in our garage, but more so. Now, Fernando Alonso was 6th going into this final run. Pierre Gasly's had the pace all weekend compared to Fernando. Fernando is not quicker than you. Now, Fernando Alonso's obviously buggered up his flying lap, I believe. Or I don't believe he has. No, he's now going on to his flyer, but he will have knackered the tyres up. Now, Pierre Gasly is a bit behind him, so it's not affected Pierre too much. So we'll have to see now as we just forward on towards the end. Fernando is green through sector 1 and 2. So Fernando Alonso could, even though spinning on his outlap, could manage to improve here. Both green sectors. Pierre Gasly green through the middle sector. Pierre Gasly currently in 6th. Fernando Alonso comes up to the line. What's he going to do? He's currently P8. Fernando Alonso doesn't... Oh, he does improve a little bit. Goes P7 above Lando Norris. Lando Norris still yet to cross the line. Pierre Gasly now in P6. It's still looking quite promising as we switch on to Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly down in P8. Is Pierre Gasly going to improve? He is. He's going to go above Lando Norris. And both of our cars make it through to Q3. Lovely work from both guys. And here we are, final laps of Q3. Both our cars went out on a scrub set of soft tyres to set their banker lap in Q3. Both now on new sets of tyres. Fernando Alonso, I think it's P10 for Fernando. He possibly could beat Lando Norris, but like I said, not had the pace all weekend in comparison to the Gasman. Currently in P7. What can Pierre Gasly do here? Anything better than P7, I think, is a real bonus. We haven't got the pace of the Mercedes this weekend, as shown there. He does improve. It's all on Lando Norris. Is Lando Norris going to jump Pierre Gasly? Lando Norris crosses the line and stays P8. So P7 for Pierre Gasly, P10 for Fernando Alonso. Charles Leclerc will start on pole ahead of Max Verstappen in P2. Let's have a look at the strategies. Right, guys, so strategy-wise, I've been having a little look. Now, we've got more options with Pierre Gasly. He's got a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Both our guys have got 2 fresh sets of mediums. But, looking at it, the one-stop does seem the optimal, so we're going to go with that. If there's any safety cars, anything like that, there's not much of a chance of that around here, but we'll have to see. But I don't want to jeopardise it too much by trying something too different. We'll analyse it as the race goes on. So both guys starting on the medium compounded tyre, 7th and 10th. Let's see what they can do and let's get to 5 red lights.
This is it. It's time for the French Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And away we go, and straight away we're going to be looking at Pierre Gasly. Fernando Alonso's lost the place straight off the start, but Pierre Gasly is looking a bit keen to get past one of these Mercedes. Like I say, I don't think we've got the pace of these Mercedes, and the Mercedes again on a different strategy, both starting on the hard compounded tyres when the rest of us are on the mediums. So quite interesting, to be fair. Whoa, okay then. And how on earth has that not resulted in us getting past both cars? Let's have a look. Virtual safety cars, so VSC, that's fine.
It's a crash, and it's more than one
We need to
car.
have a look at this, so let's have a look at this straight away on lap 1.
Science is the focus here.
Sainz apparently is the one that's involved, but it looked like the two Mercs from where we were sat, and it is Sainz running wide, and then he collides with both Mercedes. This could be absolutely huge for our race, absolutely huge, because I'm guessing it one, if not both of those Mercedes cars now is going to have to pit, and Carlos Sainz is all the way back now in last place. So that could not have gone better for us. We'll come back when we end the VSC. Right, so virtual safety car is ended on lap 2, but as you can see, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell and Carlos Sainz all in the pits. Pierre Gasly now is sat pretty in P4. Fernando Alonso, it must be said, can get past Doc. I reckon Fernando Alonso is quicker than the cars he is currently behind. Sorry, so Bottas, we know how good Valtteri Bottas has been this year. Esteban Ocon and Lando Norris, all very much catchable. Pierre Gasly now really wants to maintain this 1 second gap to Lando Norris, which I believe we can. He's had the measure of Lando Norris all weekend. These guys just coming out of the pit, and the Mercedes had to double stack, and the hard compounded tyre that they were on as well. Not ideal at all for the Mercedes. So, lap 2, after a very hectic start, Charles Leclerc leads from Max Verstappen, then comes Sergio Perez. Pierre Gasly 3 seconds back already. It's one of these three that's going to win this race, barring safety cars and other incidents. Pierre Gasly in P4, Lando Norris P5, Ocon, Bottas, Alonso, Magnussen and Guan Yu Zhou make up the top 10. Lap 2. Lap 5, Fernando Alonso has just made a cracking overtake on Valtteri Bottas. He got side by side with him into the chicane and then managed to pull away, and he's now got the two cars in front of him inside. Lando Norris and Esteban Ocon, sorry, have not got DRS off Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly is running his own race at this moment in time. The guys in the garage enjoying that, definitely. Big fist pumps in the Aston Martin garage and a polite applause from one of our mechanics. But Fernando Alonso now, as we can see, he's now just half a second behind Esteban Ocon. Lando Norris 2 seconds back from Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly has just got to carry on doing what he's doing. He's not going to catch the front guys, barring a safety car. Keep pulling out that gap to Lando. Gives us options with strategy. Fernando Alonso, his race is for P5 this afternoon. Lap 6. Lap 21. Lando Norris has been leading this DRS train. Now, Bottas and Fernando have not managed to keep up with it at all. But that's a key mistake from Lando Norris. A man who we're scouting. I don't need my scouts to tell me that's a costly mistake. I mean, the shake of the head. It's a despondent shake of the head from one of the Mercedes, one of the McLaren guys. We have had our first pit. Max Verstappen has pit and come out in P7. The three guys at the front are in a league of their own. Pierre Gasly will be in on the next lap, so we're just going to tell Pierre just to push a little bit on the fuel for his next lap. Esteban Ocon's around 5 seconds back. Sergio Perez now coming into the pits, but Fernando Alonso now, after that mistake from Norris, is promoted up to P7 once he's had his pit stop, latching onto the back of Valtteri Bottas. Not had the pace all weekend, but at the moment he's looking on for decent points, although he's just fell out of the DRS. But Bottas is in, Ocon's in. This is the time for Fernando. Fernando has got to push this lap, attack with the tyres. Go, 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 Fernando. Lap 22. Right then, lap 22. Pierre Gasly has been pushing like mad this lap to get in, as Fernando Alonso. So Fernando's now going to be told to go to standard on the tyres just for this last little bit. We can get both cars in and not impact Fernando. Pierre Gasly is in, but Fernando Alonso is a good 8 seconds back. Our guys are going to have to make cracking pit stops here. So first in, Pierre Gasly. Change. We need good pit stops. 2.7. It's not great, but Fernando Alonso is in as well. He's now going to be into the box. Will Fernando's be any better? 2.7. Not ideal again. But where is Pierre Gasly going to filter out? There was a gap of around, what? 5 seconds to Ocon. And he's come out massively in front there. He's had a good pit stop. Pierre Gasly rejoins P5. He has got Guan Yu Zhou for company. Alex Albon, I believe, is yet to pit. So Pierre Gasly in a nice bit of room here, safely into P4. Where has Fernando Alonso come out? Fernando Alonso is still behind at Valtteri Bottas, but has done rather well there. P14 is now back in the DRS of Valtteri Bottas, so that's fair enough. Carlos Sainz obviously made that early pit stop. Hopefully we can get dragged along by these guys. Esteban Ocon a little bit further up the road. So lap 23, all looking very promising, especially for our man Pierre Gasly. And just a little quick update, lap 24, Alex Albon out of pit, but he did give Pierre Gasly a little bit of DRS, which we thanked him for. Pierre Gasly is currently 3 seconds in front of Guan Yu Zhou. Relay, he's racing Esteban Ocon. And if we have a look at the distance between those, so Esteban Ocon 20 seconds back from the leader, got about 8 seconds now. Pierre Gasly, he should be able to cruise home for P4 this afternoon, barring any mistakes. Touch wood. So all on the Aston Martin pit wall is just telling Pierre to just keep it steady and bring it home, my friend. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso is getting dragged along by this Ferrari. This Ferrari's got to pit again towards the end of the race. Obviously, Fernando and Valtteri haven't. Neither has Sebastian Vettel. But Sebastian Vettel and Norris a little bit further back. Lando Norris really screwed his race up with that spin. So Fernando Alonso now, points are on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. What we got here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 cars in front of Fernando to pit. So P7, P6 is probably what Fernando is fighting for this afternoon. Lap 25. There's not been too many highlights. There's not been too many crashes. We'll just check in at the front. Sergio Perez has been overtaken by Max Verstappen. Whether that was team orders or they've just been left to race, I couldn't tell you. Charles Leclerc is very much in the battle for the win as well. And then it's Pierre Gasly all on his own. And we don't normally look at the bike, but we're going to have a little look at the bike. Lance Stroll, after what he did to us in Austria, getting everything he deserves in my book. Mick Schumacher in P19 and P18 for Yuki Tsunoda. The new Williams pairing not managed to make any improvements, and the car just looks very, very poor. Bad day for Mercedes so far. Lap 25. Lap 34, Fernando Alonso got past the Ferrari, got past the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. He's following Valtteri Bottas through. Great work from Fernando there. He's, like I said, he's not had the best weekend, but he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. If we just quickly click back to the action. Sorry, Fernando Alonso now in the DRS of Valtteri Bottas. Magnussen and Sainz gone now, no problem with them. So it's all on Alonso now to just fight with Valtteri all the way home and try and get that P6. That is probably the maximum. Saying that, Esteban Ocon's not that too far up the road if they work together. Who knows what they might be able to achieve. Pierre Gasly, loving life at the moment. Max Verstappen's had a big lock-up, which has meant that he's now in no man's land. Perez and Leclerc, as you can see, battling at the front. The worst thing that could happen to us now is a safety car. That would be the worst possible thing that could happen. We really, really don't want that. Lap 34. Quick check-in, lap 43 now. Everything's still looking okay in terms of trying to overtake Valtteri Bottas. We've been saving our tyres a little bit better. It's gained us 1%, but not too much benefit. But the one concern is Lewis Hamilton. He's on the charge. He's on the medium tyres. They are wearing quicker. 10 laps to go. They should be pretty much dead by the end, and that's what we're hoping. At the moment, we're just managing to keep him out of DRS, but that Mercedes is looking very, very quick. Fernando Alonso might have to start putting Valtteri Bottas between him and Lewis. We're going to have to monitor this as it goes. Pierre Gasly still 17 seconds now in front of Esteban Ocon. If there was a safety car, and we got the pit stop right, Pierre Gasly's got a fresh set of soft compound tyres to go on to. Fernando Alonso at this moment in time, it's getting a little bit nervy. We're hoping that Hamilton's tyres are going to fall off a cliff later on in this Grand Prix, and maybe even Norris can just hold him up a little bit as well. So all to play for these guys in the top 10. Fernando Alonso, can he get P6? Lap 46, Fernando Alonso told to deploy DRS on the last lap to ensure that he broke the DRS of Bottas and Hamilton. Those two absolutely scrapping behind him. As we can see, and it's a great scrap to be fair. These guys, Lando Norris back in the mix, Bottas, Hamilton and Norris all fighting for P7. But the plan was for Fernando Alonso to use that ERS and try and check out and let these guys battle. Lap 46, that little tactic seems to be working. He has got the better tyres than Hamilton. Bottas, and he's got probably one of the best tyres on the grid apart from Esteban Ocon at the front. Pierre Gasly, what a race this has been for this man. He's still just chilling. He's got a couple of bike markers to negotiate, but it's been fantastic work from Pierre. We're not even pushing on the fuel because there's no need to push. Take your time, nurse it home. All eyes on Fernando Alonso and this gap to Lewis Hamilton. We need these medium compound tyres to fall off a cliff. Lap 47, bike lap 51, and we're live. And Lewis Hamilton cuts the corner, it must be said. But Fernando Alonso has been holding him up as much as he possibly can. This wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for Fernando to just save a bit of fuel.
Okay, happy to lift and coast.
And just save a little bit of ERS, because coming onto this last lap, we need to get Lewis Hamilton down that straight. Harvest the ERS now, down the start-finish straight, and then when we get to this next long straight on the final lap, this is when we're going to have to make it count. So it's all eyes on Fernando Alonso to overtake Lewis Hamilton. He's had a few words to say about Lewis Hamilton in the last couple of seasons, and in real life, so fair play. But this is where it's going to get very, very tasty for Fernando. But he's got to stay. He's got to stay in that DRS. If we have a look at Lewis Hamilton's tyres, what's Lewis Hamilton's tyres? 36% now for Lewis Hamilton. He has got DRS Fernando up here. And hopefully he's going to get it on the next couple of straights. And then it's going to be all eyes on Fernando to see what he can do on the final lap of this Grand Prix. We'll come back for that. Pierre Gasly still in P4, pretty comfortable. Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez absolutely going at it at the front. This final lap is going to be some lap. And here it is, final lap of the Grand Prix. Perez and Leclerc absolutely going at it. And now it's time for Fernando to use everything he's got in these tyres, deploy that ERS. He's dropped out of the DRS of Hamilton, and that could be absolutely huge in terms of this last straight, because this is where we were hoping we were going to be able to catch Lewis and make the pass. But it's looking at the moment, unless Fernando can somehow get close enough to him to get DRS up that final straight, that is the only chance we've got of catching Lewis Hamilton. He has got DRS on the start finish straight, so Fernando, he's going to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, copy, mate.
And this is it. It all comes down to this for Fernando Alonso. We're going to ride on board with the former world champion racing against the 7-time world champion in Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's tyres, we'll have a quick check on them, 33% mediums. It's all on Fernando Alonso down this next straight. We're going to say to Fernando, you use that overtake. Make it count, Fernando. He's 6 temps back, 7 temps back. Lewis definitely got the better traction there. And now it's all on Fernando Alonso. Is he going to get Lewis Hamilton? He's using every bit of battery he can possibly use. Is he going to make the move? He's got to make it into this chicane. He's got to dive down the inside. Fernando Alonso, he's side by side with Lewis Hamilton. Is he going to manage to get P6 for the team? The battery's dead. There's no more battery for Fernando to use. We're going to switch him back to neutral. We're telling him to use absolutely everything. Pierre Gasly's about to cross the line. Charles Leclerc's won. But we're going to stick with Fernando Alonso because it looks like the old Spaniard, the old Ed, the veteran, is going to outdo the 7-time world champion in the lesser car. The tyres, he's managed it. He's just about got DRS. Is he going to manage to hold off Lewis Hamilton here? He's been aggressive on the tyres. Lewis Hamilton's diving left and right, just trying to find some sort of gap. Is he going to find it? Absolutely not. Fernando Alonso, it's a pure drag race to the line. Is he going to hold on to this? Fernando Alonso has lost it on the line. P7 for Fernando.
Let's check a flag.
Absolutely gutting, but what a battle that was on the final lap. He's appreciated the strategy, just didn't quite have enough to that Mercedes. Very, very quick. Those tyres must have been nearly dead of Lewis Hamilton's. But great drive from both, good points scored. I thought we got it. We thought we got it on the pit wall with Fernando Alonso, P7. Absolutely gutting, but they're still going side by side all the way into the pits. The respect is there. Let's get to the classification. And so the classification for the French Grand Prix is as follows. Charles Leclerc wins from Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen comes in 3rd. Pierre Gasly, 4th place. brilliant performance from Pierre Esteban Ocon in 5th. Good performance from him. Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso, we watched it all the way to the end. Lando Norris, then Bottas again getting the points for Alfa Romeo, and Sebastian Vettel picking up a point for Alpine. In the driver's standings, Pierre Gasly extended his lead over Lewis Hamilton in P5, 12 points gain, 114 points now. Max Verstappen still leading from Charles Leclerc by around 14 points, and then Carlos Sainz is in P3. Fernando Alonso staying in P8 but gaining on George Russell after that first lap crash. Constructors wise, Mercedes 18 points, Aston Martin 18 points gained, and that now puts us within 3 points of Mercedes. We can see that the Mercedes is by far the quicker car, but we just seem to be getting the strategies. Whatever we're doing, we seem to be getting it right. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed your Christmas weekend. I hope you had a fantastic one. We'll see you on Thursday for the next Grand Prix. Like and subscribe. See you then. Ta-ra.